Yo, what's the word, y'all? What's good? What y'all got going on, man? How everybody doing out there? Hope everybody having a great day, man. Hope everybody is in a good space. You know what I mean? Feeling good about themselves, feeling motivated, feeling like you trying to get some money. You know what I mean? Staying out the way. That's what I hope everybody doing. But let me thank everybody who actually like, share, and subscribe my last video, man. I appreciate y'all. You got to keep hitting them buttons, man, for we can keep going up, man. So if you're new watching this content and you feeling it, hit me with a subscribe, man. Keep going up. Share me to y'all peoples. That's how this is going to go. I want to talk to everybody, not just people in Virginia. I want to talk to everybody, man. I got something to say. So all I want is y'all to rock with me, man. That's all I ask, man. But appreciate everybody who watch, man. Real talk, man. I appreciate that. But what we're going to do in this story right here, I was thinking to myself, I was like, you know what? I've been locked up for 16 years. I got 16 years worth of stories. I can just have fun with this and bounce around. You know what I mean? So that's why I was start thinking. I was like, man, I'm gonna go into the story about how dangerous it is about these payphones in prison. It's super dangerous, y'all. I'm telling y'all, like super dangerous. Like I actually seen bloodshed. I actually seen bloodshed. I'm gonna give y'all the story when I first seen bloodshed. Like it was crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I went through. I saw it. It was crazy. But this is how I went, man. I'm at the end of my bid right now. I'm at the end of the bid. I finally completed it, man. I made it through. I survived unscathed. Uh, goddamn. I'm feeling like I've been gone so long. Like I didn't even know I was getting short. I ain't gonna lie. Like Lawrenceville was moving so fast. There was so much going on. Like I didn't even know I was about to go home until my main man Baldhead was about to go home. Cause I knew he was going home at 15. I was going home at 17. But like when you've been bitten so long, like it just was like a blur. I'm just year for year. Christmas is summer. It's Christmas is summer. It's football season and basketball season. And it's like the years just been going fast. So I didn't keep up with it. Long story short, they transferred me, y'all, from Lawrenceville. I seen several dudes go home. I ain't even gonna lie. I seen dudes go home from Lawrenceville, a lot of them. So I was thinking I was gonna be one of them. Even my little year, I was gonna walk it down on Lawrenceville and carry my ass home. But no, they had other plans for me. They transferred me to Greensville to the reentry program. Now, the reentry program is a program everybody that actually is about to go home, even dudes that make parole, they still have to go. When they make parole, you still have to go complete a reentry program. That's a program they want everybody that's about to go home to do before they go home, because they say it's preparing you for home. So it's kind of like mandatory. Some dudes get by, and I done seen dudes get by. A lot of them, you know what I mean? Some dudes don't. I guess they was probably like, hell no, your ass been gone too long. KO ass the reentry. So, boom. As sad as I was to leave Lawrenceville, I ain't gonna lie, I was sad as shit. I was sad as hell, yo. I didn't want to leave Lawrenceville. I wanted to go home from Lawrenceville. Lawrenceville is just different. I was comfortable. I won't try to go nowhere. They transferred my dumb ass. Got me out of there. So as sick as I was, I said, fuck goddamn Lawrenceville, man. I got it. I got basically a year left. Year and a couple months. I was like, man, get me out of here, man. I'm ready to go. So I packed up and I was gone. Now, I heard stories about how Greensville was. I never was on Greensville, but I was on Sussex. And Sussex was a 4, and Greensville was a level 3. So I was on a higher level from Greensville, but I knew Greensville was like a real level 3 real prison. And when I say real prison, it was because it's so big. So I knew it was a lot of dudes up there. You know what I mean? Like when it's a big prison, there's a lot of dudes. So I already knew, you know what I mean, what I was prepared to see, because I just left gangland. Lawrenceville was gangland. So I didn't see how all the gangs is. I already knew what time it was. I had 16 years of gangs. So I know about the gangs. But when I get to Greensville, y'all, it was crazy. I ain't even gonna lie. Now, let me rewind the tape back for y'all. Through my whole bid, I never went through no phone situation. Sussex 2, it was never a phone situation on Sussex 2. Everybody get to use the phone. The only times the phones probably be packed and it'd be a situation with everybody trying to use it is on Thanksgiving and Christmas. And that's because everybody wants to call their peoples. You got dudes who never even been on the phone trying to call their peoples. So everybody wants to talk to their peoples on the holidays. That's just how I go in prison. So that was the only time through my Sussex years that I actually seen like phone, like, I got next. And I seen stuff like that. That was the only time, I promise y'all. Now, when I get to Lawrenceville was like the total opposite of phone situation, because nobody used the motherfucking phone. I swear to God, it was times probably I done came out in the pod, like on a Saturday on a night rec. The night rec used to be like from 8 to like 12. And it would be nobody on the phone. And if it was somebody on the phone, it'd just be one dude that'd be on the phone. Like everybody had cell phones on Lawrenceville. So I didn't go through no phone situation on Lawrenceville. Like I didn't see it. It wasn't hectic yet. Like at the time, it wasn't hectic. Now I'm speaking about, I know for a fact that it's hectic right now. So what I'm telling y'all is a warning. So like, I hope everybody listen. You know what I mean? If your ass ain't staying out the way, like this is just how this shit is. So boom. Without having to go through a phone situation in there, I'm on my last year, like I told y'all. I just started recently talking back to my wife that I'm married to right now, and I want to talk to her. Like that's how I go. So now I'm on my washed up time. Before I left Lawrenceville, kind of like I was still on spoiled time a little bit with cell phones and all that, but I still was rocking with the other phone. Like my wife wanted me to stay out of trouble, and that's definitely what I was doing. I was trying to stay the hell out of trouble. You know what I mean? But even with a year left, you still got to maneuver. Even like you can stay out the way, but you still got to maneuver. So I'm maneuvering, and when I get transferred to Greensville now, it's a phone situation. So the phone situation wasn't crazy, right? But like I say, now that I'm gone from Lawrenceville, no access to use nobody's phone. I know, like it was. I gotta use the wall phone. That's just what it is. I have to use the wall phone. Now, my first experience to see how phones was crazy is when I went in Greensville. They actually, when you come to Greensville, you have to go to the intake pod. So the intake pod is a pod that when you get transferred to Greensville, you have to go in there. Now it's 88 people, just like 80 some people, just like how Sussex is. It's a pod with 40 up top, 40 at the bottom, and goddamn, it's only 5 phones. So when I come in there, of course, I want to use the phone. I just got there, so I want to tell my people I'm transferred. You know what I mean? So I end up spotting. I seen it when I got in there. So I'm green to what's going on. I walk in the pod. I put my stuff down. You know what I mean? I come out. I'm looking around. I'm like, damn. So I ain't gonna tell y'all like I did. Well, I didn't tell you. I didn't tell y'all. What I definitely didn't tell y'all was when I got to Greensville, I actually had something with me. So when I get there, I'm straight. Like, you know what I mean? When you got weed, when you get transferred, like weed on Lawrenceville was plentiful. You know what I mean? So it was plenty of that shit to be like, yo, let me get this, and I'm out of here. You know what I mean? So I got weed when I get to Greensville. Niggas told me it was sweet when you do the shakedown. I went there. I had weed. Just a little bit. Not a lot like I'm trying to sell and make money. No, just like, when you get there, you want to get yourself together. You want to get your box right more. You want to just get situated. You know what I mean? I told you drugs is power in there. So like I brought the power with me just in case. So I had the power with me. So when I first get in there, I put my stuff down. I look in the pod. I see his gangland out. Even his intake is still gangland out. Now, I don't spot nobody I know off the rip. You know what I mean? I'm looking, I'm like, damn. So I see a white dude on the phone. White dude look like he kind of black. You know what I mean? He on the phone sitting in a chair. I said, yo, somebody got after you? He was like, yeah, him right there. I was like, all right. I go to Jude. I was like, yo, somebody got after you? Yeah, him over there. I was like, damn. Hey, who after you? Oh, such and such over there. He next. I'm like, what the? I go to the next phone. They hit me with the same thing. He next. With no remorse, I just came in the pod. I got to call my people. They didn't give a shit. The phone game is crazy. So I'm like, damn, this word, this how it is. I'm like, okay. But I'm saying in my head, like, what can I, like, I'm really going to try to kill somebody off the rip just coming on the compound. And just because I can't use the phone. Now, I got a year left. I definitely want to talk to my baby, but I'm smart. I told you got to think through this shit. So to react immediately is what a lot of maniacs would have done. Now, I'm a maniac, but I didn't react immediately. It wasn't no need to react immediately. So I said, okay. I sat back. As soon as I sat back and looked, I spot my homeboy Tough Money roommate. That was his roommate on Lawrenceville. So when I spot him, he's a blood. So with him being a blood, that really didn't mean anything. But he knew who I was. I knew who he was. He knew the count. So when he see me, he come down me up. Oh shit! I think he was from Portsmouth. He come down me up like, "What's up, bro?" I'm like, "What's good?" He was like, "You just getting here?" I'm like, "Yeah." He like, "Who cell you went?" I tell him what cell I'm in and shit. He like, "Look." Boom. He was like, yo, me and the homies got this phone right here. You need to use it. I'm like, yeah, because I didn't get a chance to ask who was on that phone. You know what I mean? So, boom, he get me in the phone. But I'm seeing how the phone shit is slightly from the intake. Now, this ain't had nothing to do with like assigned phones. This is now in that intake pod, y'all. Even though dudes in there in and out, because once you get there, you only there for a certain amount of time. Then they send you to wherever you're supposed to be at in that on that compound. If you're supposed to be in the reentry, they're gonna send you to reentry, like where I supposed to be. You know what I mean? So now it's dudes in there that actually that's in there. It's like 5, 6 dudes. And then like now probably more than that, probably 8 or 10. But a lot of them are older dudes. So when they move me in there, they move me in the cell with an older dude. And that junk was crazy. So they moved me in there with an older dude. I spot what's going on. The phone shit is crazy. So all type of shit going on in my brain. When I get in the cell with the old dude, I see he's an old dude, like 69, 70. But I'm like, what the fuck? They moved me in here. So he work in the pod. So that's why he don't get transferred. He's just an old dude in the intake pod, which is weird as a bitch. So I'm in the cell with him. I'm mad at the phone situation is stupid. I want to talk to my baby every night, but I see what's going on. Ain't no need that crazy. I got on the phone. I called my girl. I'm in with my wife right now. I called her. I called my family. Let her know that I was good. I just got to Greensville. Boom, boom, boom. Everything's great. So when I go in the cell, the old dude on some maniac shit. My homeboy Tough Money Sell It. I'm trying to work to play with him because he telling me it's a dude that got some cigarettes. He trying to trade and buy something. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to holler at him. I'm gonna get him just to work the whole play. I'm just gonna stay in the shadows. You know what I mean? That's what I'm gonna stay in the shadows. Let him work the whole play. So as I'm letting him work the play, and I'm talking to him at the door, the old dude on some old, hey man, I don't want nobody at my door. He on some like what? I turn around. So I'm like, what you say? He was like, I don't want nobody at my door. So he jump up. This dude 70 years old, y'all. At least in his late 60s. He little as hell. He's short. He like 5'5". I'm like, I look at him. I'm like, so as we right there, I'm like, yo, man. I said, you better sit your ass down. So when I say that, it's loud. Now, Greensville, the crazy thing about they cells are they look just like Sussex as far as how the doors open, all of them, but they have no windows on their doors. So it's like you can stick your arm out, like you can yell, like it's no windows, which is weird as a bitch. I don't know why it is like that. So I guess the dude that was cleaning up is his man. He heard what was going on. Now, all these people work for the people. So out of nowhere, as I'm in this, I'm mad, but I'm standing in the cell. I'm like, if the old head get crazy, I'm gonna have to ball old head up. I don't want to because he an old head. You know what I mean? So the sergeant lady walked by. She walked by and say, everything good in here? I'm like, everything good? She like, yeah. So off the real, I'm like, damn, somebody told that fast. God damn. That was record speed type of tell. Because she came through right before counting. They was about to count. So I'm like, yeah, everything good. He like, hell no, everything good. He making a scene. I was like, man, look. I said, matter of fact, I said, yo, look, get me the fuck out of here. I said, I just got here from Lawrenceville. I'm about to go home next year. I said, I ain't got time to be kicking no old dude ass. Man, get me the hell out of here. Why y'all put me in the cell with this old ass nigga anyway, man? What the hell is wrong with y'all? So the lady was like, matter of fact, I didn't know her, but she actually was a sergeant on Sussex years ago. When she was she worked on Sussex years ago. Now she's a sergeant on Greensville. So she like, all right, I'm gonna get you out of there. I'm gonna move you. I'm like, all right, what cell I'm moving into? She like, all right, you going in cell such and such. So I'm thinking it's the cell upstairs. So boom, account cleared. I'm ready to dip because I'm not staying in the cell with this fucking idiot. I told you I got a situation going on and the phone shit is already, it's just too much going on. I'm like, this shit is nuts. So when she tell me I'm moving, I'm thinking I'm moving upstairs because she told me upstairs number. So I'm about to go upstairs. She like, nah, you moving next door. So I'm like, next door. So I thought that one pod it's 4 pods like Sussex in the building. So the one pod I was in was intake, like I told y'all. So I was thinking that they was just about to move my ass or move me in another cell in the pod. That's what I was thinking until I go to S3. But they had another pod which was next door. And the next door pod was like a honor pod, but it wasn't an honor pod. And when I say honor pod, an honor pod is like a pod where they'll have dudes in there, like dudes is really staying their ass out the way. Niggas is chilling. Niggas got more privileges. Like it's just better situation. It wasn't an honor pod though. It was just a pod where you had to be cool with certain people and you had to know certain people, or they'll get your ass out of there. Now, S3, they said where I supposed to been at, which was the reentry shit. That's a whole another side of the compound, the go home joint. They said that shit was wild as a bitch, but I'm already prepared to go there. I'm like, damn, I gotta do it. What the fuck you want me to do? But I heard how wild it is. They like that shit wilder than the regular shits, than the regular population shits, like the go home shits. So I'm like, damn, I gotta go to that shit. But the lady told me I was moving next door. So boom, I go next door. I look in the pod. That shit is ganged out. Now, niggas is chilling in there. They still had dudes in there. Like I said, it was like a little slight honor pod, but it was a re-entry pod too, because the actual dudes that was in there that wasn't the people that was staying in the pod, they actually was about to go home, just like I was. So it was like a re-entry pod slash honor pod, but made it like a re-entry pod was that they had dudes in there, just like they had dudes in that intake pod that was actually in there forever. They had dudes in that little the honor pod junk. They had like 3 dudes that had like life sentences, 3, 4, 5, probably 4 or 5 of them that was just in the pod. They never gonna get moved. They're never going home at the time. Like they in the pod. So, but they had jobs. So I guess this was helping they parole to actually have like make programs. Like they'll have classes like through the mornings. And if you in that pod, you got to participate in these classes. So that was the only whack thing about that pod. But you about to go home anyway. This shit you gonna have to do at S3. They just had it set up just in that pod, which I don't know how, why. But in the other 2 pods upstairs was regular population. So as in 4 pods, it was the intake, it was the little honor pod, and it was the 2 populations. So boom, she moved me over there. So she moved me in a cell with a white dude. It was an old white dude, not old like the dude I just left. He probably was like older than me. You know what I mean? So when I go in there, he told me he had 7 days left. He was like, I got 7 days left. I'm like, bet. He was like, look, you can have a bottom bunk. I never come out. He was like, look, I just don't never come out. He said, I just don't come out. He was like, I got 7 days. He was like, I'm not coming out. He was like, I don't eat. He's had his suits. He had his suits for all the days. He was like, I'm not coming out. And I was like, yo, you good, yo. Let me get this bottom. We straight. You know what I mean? He gave me the bottom bunk. You know what I mean? I told him we was good. So boom, goddamn, the 7 days are up. He go home. But before the 7 days are up, I step out in the pod and I look and I seen how the phone situation was from that. I'm like, damn. I see the Bloods got a phone. I see Richmond got a phone. I see the Crips had a phone. That's what that's for. And I seen it was a regular phone, like for neutral niggas. You know what I mean? I saw it. So I ain't say nothing about the phone yet. I put my shit up. I come downstairs and I see a dude from Lawrenceville I know. Now the dude from Lawrenceville I know, he ended up being my dog slightly because, you know what I mean, I actually knew him even though we didn't kick it. He actually was in my pod at Lawrenceville, but he was in a cell with somebody that was from Norfolk. So that's how me and him had got equated. But he ended up being a cool dude, man. His name was AJ, man. I forgot where he was from, man. I want to say he might be from Emporia. No bullshit. He might be from Emporia, but I had rock with dude, man. You know, he was about to go home. So boom, and I see him, he see me, he like, oh shit, he dapped me up and shit. He was like, yeah, man. I was like, yo, some of this phone shit there. He was like, man, look, I be getting on this junk right here. He said, but it's the dude Doc. You know what I mean? Doc is an old dude from DC, y'all. He been down probably since the 70s. You know what I mean? He got gray hair. But he's a cool, like, he got a lot of wisdom, man. I give him that, you know what I mean? He got a lot of wisdom. And he trying to make parole. So he was one of those dudes that had those classes. And he was like, y'all talking about, I'm saying stay out the way. He used to be on niggas' asses like about going home because he really wanted to go home. So he was just one of them dudes, like he was cool. He was still a dude bitten. He was from DC, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, he was trying to get out. But he was one of those dudes in the pod that had power. Now, when I say power, he wasn't a snitch. I'm gonna tell y'all if he was a snitch, you know what I mean? He wasn't no snitch, but he just had like the police in his hand. Like they just really trust him. Like I told y'all, he running a class, so they really rock with him. Them other dudes that was in there that had life, they really trying to emulate everything he already started already, which was like a class. Now this can, like I said, what they doing, this can help them in parole. So boom, I go holler at him. He tell me, he said, look, I don't care. But I see him kind of like, you know what I mean? He ain't no dummy, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you gotta have with these phones these days, you gotta have muscle. If you ain't got no muscle, like when I say muscle, you gotta have some powerful people, you know what I mean? Or dudes like just like no pushovers. Like whoever's gonna be on these phones, like you gotta be able to tell somebody no if it ain't like if somebody new coming apart as a maniac, then he might try to fit like I ain't gonna say nothing to the Bloods, I ain't gonna say nothing to the Crips. I'm gonna say something to the neutral niggas. Hey, look. I'm getting on this phone, like dudes do that shit. So like I see him looking at me like he don't know me, but I'm like, yo, look, I'm trying to get on this phone, man. I was like, I just moved the pod, you know what I mean? Blah, 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 blah. He was like, all right, look, you can rock. He was like, but you gotta holler at the dude Jersey. He's like, you gotta holler at the dude Jersey, you know what I mean? He was like, you know, when I ain't here, he job be holding it down the whole time. So he be, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, all right. So he showed me who Jersey is. Jersey was a kind of like stocky dude. He was from Jersey, you know what I mean? He one of the little dudes, a little taller than me, a little size to him and everything, like he work out, you know what I mean? But he had a little time and shit. He had a lot of time. So like, goddamn, when I met him, you know what I mean, it was crazy because I was about to go home. So he's not in the gang, you know what I mean? Which was weird because he's from Jersey. He wasn't in the gang. So boom, me and him linked. When me and him linked, he was like, yo, look, boom, this is what we can do, bro. He was like, look, me and you can run the phone. You know what I mean? He was like, they got their phone, we got our phone. And he was serious about that damn phone. He's actually gonna fight for this phone. Like I told y'all, he had some time. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, fuck it. I want to talk to my baby so bad. I'm gonna rock with you. So boom, me and him in the rocking. I ain't even gonna lie. He's the blow. You know what I mean? I'm trying not to smoke, you know what I mean? But he's just, like I said, he's in the pod. He's not even running no class or nothing, but he's cool with Doc. So if you cool with Doc, you in there. See, that part was crazy because they'll bring maniacs in there, but if they don't want you in there, the sergeant lady, they already know what's going on. Your ass is getting up out of there. But it'll still get crazy sometimes. You know what I mean? It was still regular dudes in there. So boom, phone going smooth, everything. We got our own phone. I'm straight on the phone, but I'm seeing just through the how it's wild to me that how all this got past me, or maybe it just wasn't happening where I was at, how this phone shit is. So I'm like, damn, like I'll see dudes like really can't get on the phone. Like if you ain't plugged in with Bloods, Crips, or us, like we was dudes that like if I see like it was a couple of dudes, but it was one dude that I clap. Like it was sometimes you gotta clap people, man. Like dude, like I say, I hit dude with the same thing how they hit me. Hey, who got next? He got next. And I might be the next nigga after he saying somebody like I'm going twice. Like I want to talk to my baby twice. So like the phone game was just wild, man. Like I was just like, yo, this shit is nuts. So the whole compound of Greensville, y'all, was like gangland. When I said gangland, remember how that show used to come on before it come on? The gangland show? Gangland. That shit was gangland. I'm talking about Sussex, Sussex and Lawrenceville was gangland. But yo, I'm talking about Bloods, Crips, GDs, Vice Lords, bikers, goddamn the Chinese, goddamn the Filipinos. Man, I'm talking about when I went outside and you know what I mean, I just, you know, because their yard was set up different from Sussex, like I mean from Lawrenceville, like they had like a back, the yard was in the back of your yard, I mean your building. So it was like they had a big yard in the back, and like everybody was out there, like you would be out there with your building, and the next building to be on the other side of the gate. So it's like everybody meeting at the gate, and it just be and I had when my cell was at, I could look out the back window and just see that whole shit because it was right there. And I used to look out my window like, hey God, thank you, God. I'm about to get out of this joke. Thank you, God. Please, like real talk. Like, let me out of here. I was so happy that I was about to go home from seeing how that yard was. Because that shit was gangland. I'm talking about with so many gangs, it was pathetic. It was pathetic, y'all. That shit was nuts. So I can imagine how that phone shit is in every pod. That's all I was imagining. So boom, my celly go home. I'm dolo for a while. So when my celly go home, I look up one day, the door open. I see a little young dude walking in my cell with his mattress, and you know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I look, the sergeants done bringing him in and shit. So they bring him in. I got a roommate. Fuck it. Now I got a roommate. They close the door. I was happy it wasn't nobody crazy. He just looked young. Dude come in the cell. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, man. And I ain't gonna say his name, man. You know what I mean? Because he was a minor. This the crazy shit. They brought a 17-year-old in my cell. This man was 17 years old. I couldn't believe. I was like, damn, like he made me feel like a real old head. And I was on nothing but about 33. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, they got me feeling like an old head. So I'm like, damn, they bring a young boy in the cell like that. So boom, when that young boy come in there, I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, what's up, bro? You know what I mean? Where you from and shit? I think he told me he was from Charlottesville. I want to say Charlottesville. But you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, what the fuck you doing in prison? What you doing in Greensville, bro? He was like, man, he was at the juvenile penitentiary joint. I forgot the name of it. He said he was there. He said some wild shit happened with the COs and all this other shit. And when that happened, they was like they didn't want him up there no more. So he still had he still had like a half a year because he actually went home before me. So I'm thinking he had probably like a year because that when I first got up there, I had like a year and 2 months, I think. You know what I mean? So he was like he had a year left. He was going home in December. You know what I mean? I was going home in March. So I'm like, why? So I'm like, damn, they bring your ass to penitentiary, man. So I'm like, damn. So as me and bro talking, I see the little dude, a maniac on the low. Like, he wasn't a reckless maniac. Like, he came in there on, you know what I mean? Like, on some super duper respectful, like, you know what I mean? Like, he ain't showing signs like I'm gonna be in this joint wilding out, snapping out, doing all type of crazy shit because I'm young. Nah, he was chilling, he was listening, but he ended up telling me that he smoked. So his grandma take care of him. So he's like, yo, if I get the numbers, can you get it for me? So I'm like, bet I'll get it for you, bro. You know what I mean? So I used to make the little play for the little nigga, and he was cool. Like, we was chilling, we were big. You know what I mean? He had his own shit. He had a TV, which was another good thing. He had a TV. He had his own music. He had his, you know what I mean? He was straight. You know what I mean? But I could just tell, like, he was wild. I was like, I know he wild. Like, he, you know what I mean? He on some chill shit with me because he already know I'm about to go home. I'm like a little old unk to him, for real, for real. I ain't number 33. You know what I mean? I was just in his shoes, like, when I first came penitentiary a little bit. So I kind of could relate. So I won't, you know what I mean? I was just looking out for making sure, you know what I mean? I'm giving a young nigga good advice, keeping him on point. You know what I mean? So now as this going on, the pod is switching up now. Because I told you dudes go home. Like, dudes, I ain't gonna lie, dudes was going home every week. Every week somebody was going home in that joint. If damn near not every day. Niggas was going home. It was like a re-entry, but it wasn't. It was re-entry, but it was like, it wasn't over in the S3. So the pod done switched up. So with the pod switching up now, they done brought this dude from Richmond that I was on Lawrenceville with, and his name was Badass. So when they brought Badass in the pod, like, I knew bro from Lawrenceville. We never really kicked it. Like, we, you know what I mean? But we knew each other, you know what I mean? So like, when he got up to Greensville, he go home like November. You know what I mean? He go home like November. So everybody's short. So he get in the joint. So one of the dudes I told y'all got the life sentence, I mean, that be in the pod, they got juice besides Doc, was his peoples from Richmond. So when he get in the pod, he get the dude to keep him in the pod. So now he in the pod. So now the pod switching over. He done got a few Richmond dudes in there. Now Richmond is job coming in there like a motherfucker. I ain't even gonna lie. And I'm gonna tell y'all, this is my word. The whole time I was there, probably about 2 dudes from Norfolk came in there. At the most. If that. About 2. I'm telling you, it was on that compound. This is no bullshit. I know Norfolk dudes up there, probably a few on. But when I got to Greensville, it was like, it was weird because I didn't see or know nobody. I was like, I ain't bumping into nobody. See nobody. Like, what this shit? Like, that's when I got to Lawrenceville. Everybody was, so I'm like, damn. Like, this is different. This is different right here. But I adapted. You know what I mean? So now, all the Richmond dudes was coming in the pod. So when all the Richmond dudes coming in the pod, that kind of like, it shifted, like, you know what I mean? They had a little team, which was like 5, 6 of them. But now my roommate, he's starting to run around with these dudes. He's starting to, out of nowhere, he went from giving me his little numbers, buying his little shit, to now he fucking with Badass, which I didn't care. Like, I did, do you, yo nigga? Do you, yo nigga? You know what I mean? But I still, like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, he bought it. This isn't a good idea. And the reason why I say that, even though I fuck with Badass, man, Badass goddamn was running around. I told you he was going home before me. Badass was running around that junk, like, still being a psycho, like a real deal psycho. Like, he was goddamn moving around the junk. Goddamn, this nigga still getting the sack. This nigga going to the V room to get the sack. This nigga got 7, 8 months left. He still going to the V room to get the pack. He on the phones. He got a phone. That was his phone. He basically became the leader of the Bloods in that particular pod. And a lot of niggas used to hate on him, you know what I mean? But I knew this is how he was on Lawrenceville. He was a flamboyant guy. So I ain't do you, bro. So he running around with Badass in him now. Now he's running with the Richmond crew. Now, there's nothing wrong with running around with the Richmond crew, but you got to understand that Richmond crew probably going to stay in the shit. You know what I mean? And now you're going to be involved in this shit when you don't have to, bro. Like, so he started, like, showing me signs of, like, he really wanted to be from, he wasn't from Richmond, but it's like he really, really, really wanted to be from Richmond because it went from, it was another little dude from Richmond that moved in the block. And when he moved in the block, he was probably like a little bit, because he was young too, but this dude was grown, actually. He's probably like 21. He started running with him. So when I seen him start running with him, of course, when Badass and them come in the pod, the dude that he's my roommate is running with, he's running with Badass. So it just all made sense. So that's how he started like fucking with Badass real hard. So boom, I'm seeing what he doing. He coming in the cell, you know what I mean? Goddamn, he like, yo, like you think, man, like he was like, man, do you think of like you don't want to rock with me no more? Because I'm rocking with the Richmond. I'm like, bro, listen, I don't care what you do at the end of the day. I was like, cause for real, your real task is gonna be when you get out, nigga. I was like, this shit here is nothing. I said, they got you in big boy prison. I said, but when you get out, that's gonna be the real task, nigga. You gonna be about 18 years old, and what the fuck you gonna do? So you know what I mean? He ain't really used to have no answers, and I used to feel bad for the young nigga because I already know, like, I'm coming home 33, and I knew I was slaying my ass out the way, but like that's all I knew. I didn't know who my life was gonna be, you know what I mean, until I actually got home. But boom, young nigga running around with Badass. They running around doing dumb shit. Goddamn, Badass and them get to rumbling with some dude. They fuck some dude up in the pod. Like I'm telling you, like it was just wild shit. And through the midst of all this, a lot of this shit is over the phone. You know what I mean? This shit is over the phone. When I see like dudes getting into it, like I seen one dude come in the pod. Now, by this time, another dude that I was on Lawrenceville with, R.I.P. man, rest in peace, man. His name Grim, man. He actually came home and he linked with me one time. You know what I mean? But I was with him on Lawrenceville, and he actually went home from Lawrenceville, like in the beginning of my Lawrenceville time. Then he ended up catching that little case he had, which was a bullshit case. So they moved him in the pod where I was at. So he was about to go home. So he was going home in October. You know what I mean? So it was like everybody just was going home back to back, back to back. So he's a real maniac. He box, do all that shit. I'm talking about, he was a real deal maniac. And I used to rock with bro. That was my dog. So me, him, and Jersey on our phone, like we was pit bulls on that shit. Like for real. Like even though I was about to go home, that shit still transformed me into a cycle when it comes to the phone. But that's how you had to be, because I'm going to talk to my baby. That's just period. I was like, I'm going to use that phone, and that's just how it played out. See, I told you, sometimes it don't always take violence or killing a nigga or stabbing a nigga to actually like make things move. And I learned that through my bed. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm put in a predicament, then it is what it is. But like, I got in the pod, I got with Jersey. Next thing you know, we got Grim on our team. We got Doc on our team. You know what I mean? So we super Gucci. We straight. You know what I mean? My phone, our phone is straight. The Bloods got one, the Crips got one, Badass and them got one, and the Muslims had one. So that's how I went. So everybody that was in the pod, it was just in between. They was just trying to get in where they fit in. I seen a lot of white dudes just to be mad as shit. A lot of black dudes just be mad as shit. Like, if you won't lock them with certain people, you won't using the phone. So the Bloods and the Crips, they just started like charging motherfuckers to use the phone. Like real shit. Like they charge your ass to use the phone. They would charge you like, yo, look, if you trying to use this phone, you can use this phone. But look, go ahead and send my people $100 this month, and I'm gonna make sure you get on a certain time every day for what you need to do. What can you do, man? Niggas got your back against the wall. For real. You gotta go through these dudes to use the phone. Like if you ain't locked in with nobody, and like I say, even when it came to our phone, the neutral dudes, that shit was like, we had me, the dude Jersey, Grim, and Doc. Doc had a girl, I had a girl, Jersey had a girl, and Grim had a baby mama. So everybody talking to, we got the phone. Like that shit gonna be, when we come out after every count, who after you? Doc on it, Jersey after Doc. Doc, who after Jersey, who after Doc? I'm out, Weezy after him. Weezy, who after you? Grim after me. Then we gonna rotate that shit. We gonna rotate it. And the same shit will be happening with the other phones, man. So shit got crazy one night though, man. So boom. I told y'all, my roommate running with the Richmond niggas. And I ain't never know the young nigga go like this. Like, he shocked me with this shit. Like, and I ain't never like I slept on the little nigga, but he just shocked me with this. Like, this was wild. So boom. Shit got crazy over this phone, man. I'm telling you, the phone shit is crazy. I can imagine how it is now. Forget the jail. The jail, you probably can squeeze in here and there. Like, but when you get to prison, like, you want to use the phone, man. I'm telling you, like, I'm so glad I had to go through that shit, and I'm not going through that shit. Like, I'm so glad. But my roommate running with the Richmond niggas, little young boy, he running with the Richmond niggas. He done got a tat on his cheek. He just going crazy. So But now, they done move another dude that I was on Sussex with. I forgot his name, but he was on Sussex with me. He's from Richmond. And I didn't know he was a maniac. And I knew he wasn't no pussy, you know what I mean? I knew he wasn't soft or nothing like that. But what I say when he's a maniac, like he really shows signs of maniacness because all us going home in the pod. All us are going home. So he finally going home. You know what I mean? And I was with him on Sussex, so it was crazy. We linked back up now. He going home. So I'm like, damn. Like, and I forgot his name. He used to cut hair. He was cool as a bitch for real, for real. You know what I mean? He ain't really fuck with nobody, but now he's running with badass in them. And he my age for real, for real. So it kind of they look right, but he's running with them now. You know what I mean? So with him running with them, like it just was, you know, at the end of the day, like they, you know, badass was a little younger than a lot of niggas that was my age, kind of like so. But he used to jive like he ain't like when niggas used to kind of like sleep on who he was. Like he was one of them I gotta prove it type of niggas, man. You know what I mean? Gotta do this, you know what I mean? I gotta, you know, and that's how you want to get through your bed. That's how you gotta get through your bed, bro. You know what I mean? So I ain't never not badass. Being badass was actually alright. You know what I mean? But boom, the other Richmond dude that moved in, he sleep downstairs. It's like 5, 6 of them. You know what I mean? They got their little team. They had their own little phone. So I used to let my roommate use our junk. Like on sometime when I ain't clicking, especially if I'm like, I'll work out in the daytime. You know what I mean? The morning time, from like the morning time, the after count time, I'm working out. When I want to use the phone is after count. You know what I mean? By then, my wife is home, you know what I mean, doing whatever she's finished doing. I want to get on the phone like after 6 o'clock, shit like that, after 7 o'clock. That's when I want to get on the phone. So my roommate used to use our joint. You know, he's not in the gang. He's not from Richmond. He's not a Muslim. He used to use our phone. I used to let him use our phone. You need to use the phone? Boom, I'll get you on the phone. You know what I mean? I used to get him on the phone. So now out of nowhere, like I told y'all, he hanging with the Richmond mob now. So he done stopped using our phone, which I didn't give a fuck. And now he's with the Richmond mob. So boom. Shit was crazy. So one day, the dude that just moved in, I told y'all that I was on Sussex with from Sussex. I mean, I'm from Richmond, who I told y'all that's about to go home with everybody else. He in the pod. So my roommate is on the phone. So I'm like two phones. I'm on the our phone was the last phone by the booth. And then there's another phone. And then it was the Richmond phone. Then it was the Blood phone. Then it was the Crip phone. So I'm on the phone. I'm sitting in a chair. I'm on the phone, but I'm facing, I can see everything. Like I'm looking at them. So I'm on the phone. My roommate kind of in the same position. He in a chair. He talking on the phone. He got his back. His back is to me, but I'm looking at his back. The Richmond dude, that I told y'all that just got up there. He come out of nowhere. He come out of nowhere. He was like, yo, look. He was like, how the fuck you on the phone? He was like, how the hell you on the phone, shorty? He was like, you on the phone? So my roommate like, what, man? Just chill out. He laughing. My roommate like, yo, just chill, yo, just chill. He like, man, what you mean, G? Like, yo, badass, I'm supposed to be next. You put this nigga on the phone. Yo, this nigga ain't even from Richmond. What the fuck? He going in. Young boy like, yo, chill, yo. The nigga, old head, not the old, I ain't call him old head, but the nigga from Richmond said, bloop, that nigga hung that bitch up. I said, oh, I'm sitting on the phone like, I'm telling my wife, like, yo, shit about to go. Shit crazy. Hang up. So I'm trying to see what my celly gonna do. Now, I'm out of that shit. You wanted to be like you was from Richmond, nigga. Handled it like you from Richmond, nigga. You wanted to be, all you had to do is come in here. You got in the cell with a cool ass nigga. You know what I mean? All you had to do is stay your ass out of the way and chill, nigga. No, you want to come here with a little bit of months and run with Richmond. But I can't be mad at the little nigga. He young. So, you know, he gotta experience his journey. How is it gonna be? So I'm definitely out of it at the end of the day. So I'm sitting on the phone just getting my popcorn ready, looking at this shit. So I'm like, what the fuck? Nigga hang the phone up on my roommate. I see him hit the, you know, that's the phones. The phones got the, the hang up shit. He hung up. Boom. He hung that shit up. My roommate got up. I'm looking at him because he ain't really a big dude. He kind of short. He won't never 17. He stood up off the chair. Dude taller than him and everything. Young boy say, man, he cracked. Man, my roommate cracked the goddamn Richmond boy. He hit him right in his shit. Nice one, too. Bow! Caught his ass with a nice one. When he caught him, dude from Richmond shook it off. He grabbed my roommate. The police is looking at this. This is what makes this whole thing crazy. The police is actually watching this whole thing go down. Now, rewind the tape back slightly. Greensville was real prison, and it wasn't like Lawrenceville, and never how sweet it is as far as, it wasn't like nothing like that. But what it was, I said, how it really was at Greensville, y'all, excuse me. The police, Like when it came to like lock you up shit, like or just like different shit, like they didn't give a fuck. Cause that wasn't the first fight that I seen in that pod. You know what I mean? With my little bit of time, everybody going home. So boom. The people is watching the fight. Now they don't have a gun in their joint like sussers. So you're not getting shot when it's a fight. They just gonna call the code. A bunch of police gonna rush in. But she's watching the fight. So they fighting. My roommate fighting the nigga. Boom. So his homeboy that he used to run with, you know, he's from Richmond. He trying to break it up. My roommate, I'm like, oh, proud of the little nigga putting it in. I'm like, I'm proud of him. Nigga hung up, you supposed to take off. If a nigga hang your shit up, take off. It's nothing, take off. God damn it. Take off on that nigga. He wilding. So he did the right damn thing. So he fighting the dude. They fighting. Dude, his man, my little roommate homeboy, he come over there trying to break it up. He like, yo, chill, hold on, man, y'all stop. The Richmond dude pushed him. Whoom. He pushed him, he hit the door. Boom. He hit the door hard as hell. Like he pushed him like on some blind push, so he wasn't expecting to push. And he went flying and he hit the door. So when he hit the door, he bounced back and he take off on the Richmond dude. Boom. So now him and the dude, my roommate and his homeboy, they banking the older dude. They got his ass on the steps. I'm talking about they like by the steps. They going in on his ass. I'm talking about they got him. They kicking him. I'm like, oh shit. So ain't nobody from Richmond jumping in, even though, cause it's like my roommate was from Richmond. So they fighting. They going at it, y'all. They going crazy. Goddamn. Dude, get about this shit. Dude from Richmond, get about this shit. He get about it. He had the last cell at the bottom, on the bottom tier. He had the last cell like by the window. I think his cell was by the window. He get about to jump. He go in the cell. They boom. They beat him. He slip away on some slick shit. He get out. He go to his cell. This man got 5 months left. Now, I ain't gonna say if that was me, how would I do that with 5 months left? Because you never know what you'll do after you get banked. But he actually initiated this shit. You wildin', bro. You got a little bit of time like this, but it's his life. When I seen what happened, I couldn't believe what he was gonna do. The man got out all the punches, ran in his cell, came back out with the knife. I'm like, oh shit. So now he chasing my roommate homeboy. He chasing him with trying to catch him. Dude juking him. He run up the steps. Nigga got down, go that way. Nigga climb down off the top tier. I'm talking about the police is watching everybody in the park. Like, what the fuck? My roommate going this way. He go after my roommate. When he go after my roommate, he swung that jump. That jump grazed my roommate's face. You can see as soon as it grazed. I'm talking about if he didn't move at the right motion, he would have stabbed him in his freaking cheek. Like it would have been stuck. But when he swung the jump, my roommate kind of weaved and all you see was blood just go everywhere. Goddamn. My roommate get away. He get away from the nigga. He chasing these niggas with the banger. Niggas make the police noise. Police coming in. They coming in deep as a bitch now. They finally coming in. It's like 10 minutes later. It was 10 minutes. I knew it was 10 minutes. At least it had to be 10 minutes. They come in. They run in. The dude from Richmond see him come in. He go back in the cell, put the hammer up. He go put it up. I don't know what he did, but he did something with it. They come in and jump. They grab my roommate. They grab his homeboy. And they like, oh, who else? The lady point out the older head for Richmond. Point him out. Goddamn, they lock us down. I'm like, yo. Niggas on the door talking like, hey, yo, niggas almost died over this phone. I'm like, yo, this shit is bad. Yo, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I said a little light prayer right then and there. I said, God, thank you, man. Get me out of here. Get me out of here, please. I'm like, yo, these dudes about to go home and they swinging knives. I'm talking about, man, that was the first time that I actually experienced a knife fight. Not a knife fight. It was a knife against fists. But just somebody going to get the knife over the phone. I told y'all through my first part of the bid, it was nothing over the phone. Second part of the bid, everybody had a cell phone. I never went through no phone shit until I got to Greensville. Now, they got me on Maniac Time on the phone shit. Now I done experienced my roommate almost dying. Somebody that's about to go home that's 17 years old, he almost could have died. Like, for real, he probably gave his grandma a heart attack if goddamn something bad would have happened to him, man. But the little young nigga kept it 100, man. You know what I mean? Young nigga kept it a band. And he went to the hole. Dude, no charges ever went against dude because they didn't find a knife. I don't know what he did with it, but they didn't find it. So nothing happened to him. Like everything just came out good. But I was just like, yo, this phone. Listen, y'all, man. The phone, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. That was in 2016, what I'm talking about. This is 2024, man. Just imagine how this phone shit is now. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, that's the moral of this story. Like, y'all don't want to go through it. Listen, man, that phone shit is, I'm telling you, anywhere, go to any prison. Go to any prison right now. Now, Lawrenceville is like that on Lawrenceville now, from what I heard. You know what I mean? Dude still got phones up there, but at the end of the day, that phone is power. Dude, somebody gonna want to out this our phone. Like, it's just something to say, something to be like, you, this is us. You gotta go through us to use this phone. Like, I seen prison just changing, but it was changing as my ass was walking out that goddamn door. So I didn't give two shits about how I was changing. So I can just imagine how it is now in there, y'all. And y'all telling me, man, y'all want to go through that shit, man. I'm telling you, that phone shit is fucked up. Like, even if you in a gang, like, you still want to go through, like, you got to hold down a phone and do this. And, man, fuck that, y'all, man. Listen, the moral of the story is, man, stay your ass out of jail. And you don't got to go through no shit with no phone, man. I seen blood shed over the damn phone, man. That's just what I saw. And that was in the go home part. Imagine how it is in regular shit, man. Like, niggas ain't playing about them damn phones, man. Them phones is weapons, man. I'm telling you, like, niggas is not playing about them phones. The phones is something up. Like, some niggas, the only thing niggas got, they be like, that's ours, that's mine's. Like, and you know what? Y'all can have it, man. You know what I mean? Thank God. Like, I don't have to do that shit no more, man. But the phone game is dangerous, man. Stay y'all ass out of jail, man. And that's how we gonna end this shit, man. But what we doing, y'all? We staying our ass out the way. That's what we doing, man. We staying out the way over here, man. We coming back again, man. We got more for y'all. We gonna do it, man. Appreciate everybody for liking me, man. I'ma holler back, man. Like, share, and subscribe, man. Send me to other people, man. Share me out. Get me lit.